Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to tell you about the first 2 episodes of the sci-fi series, Silo. Watch out for spoilers.
We do not know who built the silo.
After a series of wars and ecological disasters, there are only 10,000 people left on the planet, who have been living for generations in an underground silo, which consists of 144 levels. The inhabitants of the bunker do not know their origin story, as records were destroyed 140 years ago due to a rebellion. Sheriff Holston lives an ordinary life with his wife Allison. They receive long-awaited permission to have a baby, though it is their 3rd attempt. The residents of the bunker gather in the dining room, a camera on the surface broadcasting a screen in the bunker. At the hospital, Allison's protection is removed to allow the baby to conceive. After returning home, they get down to business. Allison is talking to a colleague at work. Her boss comes in and tells her that her article about the lost data is dangerous to society and has been deleted. Allison doesn't understand why discussing lost data is so taboo. Holston says that the statute must be followed because non-compliance could lead to the death of all residents. Half a year has passed, but no child has been conceived. Allison comes to a woman named Gloria, who can help with the change. Gloria turns on the water faucet so they won't be overheard. Gloria says that everyone is being watched, and those who are interested in the lost story will not be allowed to conceive. Allison needs to go to the lower levels to get the job done. She decides they should make love at Holston's work, which they successfully do. There is a Freedom Day celebration in the bunker. People are having fun and celebrating the day the rebels were stopped. Allison comes in to repair the computer. A man has read her article about data recovery and wants her to help restore the hard drive. This drive is over 140 years old and is a dangerous relic. Allison tries to gain access to the disk. The mayor of the asylum speaks to the residents. Allison finds a word on the disk that opens the disk. They are shocked by what they see. The disk holds the complete layout of the asylum. Allison fears the consequences and leaves, for keeping the disk is grounds for banishment to the outside. The residents rejoice in celebration and then sing a chorus, blaring lanterns. Allison says she is tired. Holston understands her. After what she has seen, Allison cannot think about anything else. Allison says she feels sick and leaves. She goes to Gloria's house. Allison says she will go to the market tomorrow. In fact, she goes back to George's house. They find a video showing nature. Allison returns home. Holston doesn't understand what is wrong with her. Holston and the doctor wait for Allison. He comes to work, but she is also gone. Holston comes home and sees Allison. She tells him that they will not be allowed to have children. Allison says that the doctor didn't remove the capsule and shows her. Holston runs after the doctor. Allison stands in the dining room and says it's all a lie. Holston tries to stop her, but Allison says she wants out, which is forbidden to say. There are no more options to avoid being banished. Allison says she's not crazy. She tells them that everything they know is a lie. The picture on the screen isn't real, but Holston doesn't understand why. Allison says if things are bad on the surface, she won't clean the camera, but if things are different there, she'll start cleaning. She is given a suit to help her stay on the surface for a while. The mayor gives her a sentence. Holston also struggles to say the words and Allison heads for the exit. Holston locks the door. The residents watch as Allison rises to the surface. Holston sees Allison start to clean the chamber. He realizes that things are different on the surface. Allison heads for the hill, but falls and ends up dying. 2 years pass. Holston is now alone. He is informed that George, who showed Allison the truth, is dead. The mechanic from the generator level believes he was murdered. Holston heads over to interrogate her. They see a huge generator that keeps the silo alive. The mechanic's name is Juliet. For some unknown reason, Holston voluntarily wants to go outside. A colleague doesn't understand why. The mayor pronounces sentence and Holston heads for the exit. The residents watch Holston go outside. Holston sees that there is vegetation all around. He goes to the camera and wipes it down. He goes to a tree, but he gets sick and falls down. Holston takes off his helmet and lies down next to Allison. Juliet, who has been watching, walks away angrily. Mearns reads a letter from Holston. Mearns comes to the mayor's house. They speculate on who should be the new sheriff. Juliet visits her foster mother Martha, who runs a workshop. Martha sees that Juliet is angry about something. She knows that his lover George was murdered and he didn't kill himself. At the last meeting, he wanted to show her something. She does not meet George at home, only finds a strange object and a note. She is informed of George's death. That very day, she meets with Holston. They examine the scene of George's fall. She says that he could not have committed suicide. Holston shows her George's body. Holston guesses that they were having an affair and he wants to help find out the truth. Juliet tells him that George left her something. She demands that it stay between them. Juliet shows the strange object and the note. They head to Juliet's secret place, which no one must know about. Their deal stands, so Juliet opens the secret passage. They go down the stairs. Juliet turns on the lights and Holston sees the huge machine that was building the hideout. Juliet suggests that the machine was impossible to lift from the bottom, so the founders just left it here. They go down. This is where George and Juliet spend time together. Juliet shows many relics, which are supposed to be exiled for keeping. Juliet then finds a rope that leads to a scrap. She picks up the bag in which she finds the very same hard drive and records. Holston realizes that it is Allison's handwriting. Juliet doesn't understand why Holston didn't tell her that George knew Allison. Holston wants to destroy the hard drive. Juliet says if he had listened to Allison, she would be alive. Juliet asks for help. Holston will let her know if he finds out anything, but she has to trust him. That's why Juliet is angry, because Holston went to the surface and didn't report anything. Mearns shows the candidates for sheriff. In fact, Holston has left a receiver for sheriff and Mearns says it's Juliet Nichols. He doesn't understand why Holston decided to pick her. The mayor wants to meet her in person, but will have to go down to the lower levels. Juliet goes down to the secret place again. She remembers how they used to spend time together here. George tells her that he is looking for a tunnel here and a secret door for days. Juliet is worried about him and wants to know if he decides to come down. Juliet takes the ropes and skids to the bottom. Slowly she descends, but almost falls off. That's the end of the second episode of the sci-fi series, Silo. Subscribe to the channel and like it if you want to see the rest of the retelling. Thanks for watching and good luck.